All right. We're up, and we'll give the audience a few minutes to join us here. Can't believe we got such a great special guest tonight.
Normally, I don't do these smaller podcasts. The Emperor wanted me to do some charity work.
You owed us after we turned in those Jedis. But in my defense, those guys were
I owe you?
harder. Harder.
Not even this is down with this sickness.
Why didn't I know Vader would be a Disturbed fan?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I like their earlier work better. Hey, you can't move that neck. What are you doing? I could see why that didn't happen a lot in the show or in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Just being able to do this really just kind of like meshes, I think, with the vibe of the character. This is much more, for some reason, intimidating in the armor.
There you go.
I mean, when he moves like a tank and then just comes forward. Like, I mean, there are two moments that were peak Darth Vader, and both were not in the original trilogy. It was at the end of Rogue One. That was incredible.
Oh, my God.
And then, was it the first Force Unleashed, when you get to be him on Kashyyyk, and you're literally just chucking Wookiees everywhere?
Oh, God. I love a good Wookiee throw.
Yep. The Wookiee throw.
I know someone who does a very good Wookiee impersonation.
I haven't met him then.
No, you wouldn't know him.
I might share that later.
Charity work.
Yeah, oh, it's been a while. Awesome. Well, we have two, so that's a party, I think.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, welcome to our guest. This is the Fortnite Direct for the month of May. I'm Don, an engineer for Fortnite, and working on the Darth Vader AI project that we're going to launch later today. With me, we have the director of Epic Games, Tyken, and we got a special guest today. This is Darth Vader AI.
Lord Vader.
Sorry, Lord Vader. In a few moments.
This is the AI.
This is the AI. Yeah. I put the AI in here.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's in the chat with us. Yeah. Anybody that's with us on the chat tonight, feel free to ask questions for Darth Vader, and we'll throw those up for him. So yeah, in a few minutes, we're gonna push what we believe to be the most advanced NPC ever put into a video game. It's very important to us that Darth Vader acts as a human, as human as possible. So we minimize the guardrails in place just to really open this up. So we're coming from a common sense approach. It's built around some core philosophy. Basically, you can't romance with Vader. He's not going to romance back with you. He's also not going to gamble. And we just took the V-Bucks thing out. He's not going to talk about V-Bucks. He's not going to try to sell V-Bucks. And those are really the guardrails we're using. And other than that, we just want to open it wide up and make Darth Vader just be Darth Vader.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would love to know, and maybe Vader, you could tell us this, like, why pick you as the first character as a villain in a video game to be a part of Fortnite? What do you think that you bring special that we chose you first?
You said villain. There is no other villain besides Vader.
See, as you can see, completely lifelike, completely responds in character with the voice. Spot on James Earl Jones impression, I must say. Not only that, but Don, as I understand, we actually got the right to a celebrity from Disney.
Yeah. So James Earl Jones, before he passed, rest in peace, he signed over his rights to Disney. And I'm sure he had this in mind when he was like, I want you guys to take my rights. I want you to throw my voice into AI and make my life live on through your projects at Disney. So Disney just basically loaned it over to us at Fortnite, and we're rolling with it.
Yeah, and it was a couple $1 million. Like, it was a totally reasonable, fair exchange for the art. That's what I really love about it.
100%.
What is that in Imperial credits?
I think 12?
12? Just 12?
13? Look, I got to be honest with you. We didn't do any research before we agreed to this. So we knew it was a name we would go with. But I know there's a lot of concerns out there that there wouldn't be enough guardrails. So I just want to make everyone, feel safe. That's why we brought Darth Vader on board here to talk through. So Darth Vader, let's just start at the top. Are you going to cheat in Fortnite?
I don't need to cheat.
Exactly. So there's no concern about cheating. There's no concern about him breaking the game in any sort of way. I know there's concerns about whether bad language might be there, which I could tell you, Darth Vader doesn't use bad language, right?
No.
Excellent.
See, exactly. Yeah.
Nothing to be concerned about. And I know a lot of children play Fortnite. They shouldn't. We do have a rating system, but I think we can all agree, and Darth Vader can too, that safety with children is a number one priority. Would you agree with that, Darth Vader?
Absolutely. I love my children like I love sand. I fucking don't.
Don't. Whoa! This interview's over. Get me out of here. Cut. Go to the intro.
Oh, God.
Why is this game crazy?
Whoa!
Nothing
Quick change.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
All right, so a little bit different to bring us in today, but I do have Tyken over
here. I think I've
here.
ever done. I love it.
Yeah, it was bad comedy, but it was comedy, right?
No, it was great comedy.
So yeah, once again, Frag, thanks for coming and joining us this week, being our special guest. But you're really becoming part of the family, so thank you for that.
When you're here, you're family. Pizza party in the break room later. For how well.
What is that? Is that Godfathers?
No raises, no pay increase, just pizza parties. I get it.
You'll think it's delivery.
Yeah. But it's not. No.
You have to.
Awesome.
All right.
So we are gonna switch it up a little bit. We're going to balance like what's going on. We're busy people. We also like video games. So we're just gonna start with what's been going on over the last week. And Tyken, I'm so excited to hear hopefully about your vacation or whatever you did, because I'm a little jealous.
Yeah. I went down to San Diego with the family for just a long weekend. Nothing too crazy, but we hit Legoland, we hit SeaWorld and the zoo, and man, San Diego was very pretty. And I kind of went, it's May right now, and in terms of the podcast time, so it's kind of their May gray, they call it. So it was overcast, it was sprinkling, like it wasn't 80, 85 degree days, it was like 65, 70. I got to laugh it up being a Northwesterner here. So
that sounds like a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was great. I got to wear a hoodie in San Diego when I went on places. I loved it. But what it really meant is that every place we went to had no lines. It was amazing.
That's great.
The zoo, like we were just front of the line every ride we wanted to go on. We didn't have to fight for seats on any of the shows. So it ended up being a really, really great trip.
Nice.
So I had a lot of fun. I honestly didn't get a ton of time to play video games. So But I did bring my Switch, and on the plane, I just ended up playing more Vampire Survivors because that is my favorite I'm not going to think game, and it's so good at that. So
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Legoland, by the way, if you have a kid that's like, I think it's perfect for like a 5 to 10-year-old range. It's kind of smaller rides, but still active. It's perfect. And so it was really great taking him. We had done some activities like we did Yellowstone, and we've done a cruise with him that were just not quite his age range, and he really struggled with. But here, he could run, he could scream. All the activities were his size. There were places for him to like step off to the side and have a quiet time to play when he got overwhelmed, and then there was activities for him to do when he didn't. So it was a really great trip. I'm excited, and I'll definitely be going back to San Diego and exploring more. There was so much more to see I didn't even get to.
That's cool.
My short 4 days. So it was good. It was fun.
Nice. All right, on to you, Frag.
I've been actually doing all right. I've been trying to get back into painting. I used to do a lot of like miniature painting and all that stuff for like when I was playing Warhammer or some other miniature wargaming. But life and everything just kind of just kept putting it off to the side and never really getting back to it. But for like mental health reasons of just trying to being able to have a space, where I can just unwind. I've been getting back into it, and it's been really nice. I've been doing a lot of like, they call something just like a slap chop method, where basically you just prime something black and then you do a gray, a dry brush, and then a white dry brush, or different colors depending on what techniques you're trying to use. And then just going over with a contrast or a speed paint. It's not like the best painting you're going to do, but it's nice to be able to get that like endorphin release of just like, I accomplished something, even if it's something really simple at first, and then you just kind of like build up and then getting more and more intricate as you get more and more into it. It's really nice to be able to just do something.
I really, real quick, that technique, I feel like gets this like sort of bad name to it, but like what comes out of it is really interesting.
Oh yeah,
you get really quick detail, like hard dark lines, multicolor fading and gradients. Like it looks really good.
I don't know if you could see it. This is one I did a little while ago.
Look at that.
Yeah, like the different color cables on he's got going on there and stuff. Again, it's a slap chop method. It's not amazing in my opinion, but I'm also the worst critic for my own stuff,
right? Of course.
But it was nice to be able to just kind of hey, I've got a dude. In all reality, it doesn't take a huge amount of time, but it's nice to be able to just, like I said, have that accomplishment of saying, hey, my miniature, it's tabletop worthy. If I were to go play in a game, it would satisfy most people. Like, oh man, look at that color scheme. I get what you're going for. The only issue I had earlier is remember how last week I told you I nearly chopped my damn finger off, right?
Oh, we remember.
I don't know if you could see it. Obviously you could freaking see that giant gash that it's healing. I was painting a wizard folk earlier, and they've got a lot of spiky bits on them. And as I'm trying to dry brush, one of its spikes go right into the middle. Oh, it hurt on an emotional level.
In the wound.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just like, and my whole, again, emotions and everything, my whole body was just like, I don't like this. Hank. And it's resin printed, it's cured, all that jazz like that, but it's spiky. It will puncture your skin if you try to like hard enough. And oh god, I just thinking back on it, I had to share my pain. That's sorry everyone. I just had to share my pain. And for anyone who's listening versus watching, it's probably better for the better. But yeah,
you don't need to apologize. I'm here for it. So
yeah, and here I wish I wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been my week.
Nice. So yeah, awesome. I do love the art stuff too. I worked on last week. I was working on some glass work that I do in my garage. So very, very fun. Like I get it. Yeah, it's definitely fun to just be out there working on that stuff alone and relaxing a little bit. So
Nice.
definitely get that. Other than
You guys and your
that,
productive hobbies. This is ridiculous.
yeah, get a hobby.
No.
Other than that, we went to the State Museum this weekend and in Tacoma, and they had like a history of toys and stuff going on there. So they had like old Monopoly stuff, old Hot Wheels, old arcade machines. So there was all sorts of stuff. You could play with some of the stuff. There was a huge like wall size etch a sketch that you could play with. So, just like Darth Vader AI, I don't know if that one was quite thought out because some of the art gets a little racy on that. But yeah, good times. Also,
how old did that museum make you feel as you walk through and you're like, I used to play with that. I used to play with that. I was hoping I could get that, but my parents didn't buy it.
It's
now
really
it's in a
like
museum.
They had some 90s toys like the older Star Wars figures. Like I didn't really get those, but I know what that is. Like I know what that Darth Vader figure is. I want it. I want the lightsaber that comes out of the hand or whatever. Very cool. But I didn't own those when they were released. So not that old.
Was that like a special thing, or is that still going on? Or
if it's not, like, I think there's another weekend of that. So it is there.
I might try and go up to the and take my kids.
Yeah, not bad for the kids. And then I'm military, so they have like a blue star thing from like Armed Forces Day, which was last weekend, all the way to Labor Day, like free museum access. So crazy. Got in there. If you're listening and that's you, like you can get into the Glass Museum too. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can check out.
That museum's dope, by the way. I've been to the Tacoma Glass Museum.
Yeah.
That's a cool experience.
100%. So we're saving that for another day, but they're right next to each other though. So yeah, it's a good time.
Okay.
And then other than that, I saw Thunderbolts this last weekend.
Oh.
And I know like you're not a huge Marvel fan.
I've just bounced off of it ever since the end of Endgame. It was like, I'm done,
I would say
we got a decade. We got a decade. It's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah. Frag, did you watch this yet or no?
No, it's one I want to watch. I've seen pretty much every movie that's come out from them and just having declining faith in the quality. But like I saw the Captain America movie, and I thought that was probably one of the most decent ones that's come out of this. It's still not as good as the Chris Evans Captain America series, but I thought it was still really good.
Yes. So I do hype things up a little too much, but what I will say, this reminded me of the first Avengers a little bit, like the way the group forms, how they work together, how they bicker a little bit. So all those things really reminded me of that first movie. And I will say it's the best thing since probably Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like I put, Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then this movie. All those movies there are like, I think the last great Marvel movies. So I think it's one of those. And then anything like Eternals and Marvels and all that kind of crap. Like I just kind of throw that aside and I'm like, that didn't really happen. But if I had to like create Dawn's timeline, it'd be Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then this movie. So yeah, pretty good.
I love Yelena. That's her name, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Hilarious.
Characters. Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Her dry delivery in the Hawkeye was so good.
Yes. So, and that's the one I think you gravitate towards the most, just because they have invested in that character a little bit more, and Bucky's in this too. But I feel like you've invested in her in the Black Widow movie, and then Hawkeye, if you watch that, and it's like, okay, I can connect with that character because I know a little bit about her. But they're great. Like all the characters work great together. So
cool.
Dug it. Yeah,
I'll watch it when it comes out on the streaming platform, Disney, obviously. It just really, for me, and I think I've said this before on the podcast, Marvel had a great 10-year run, and it capped with one of the best experiences. I mean, Endgame
It is
was
amazing,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it really brought everything together. It like completed that arc. And so everything that's come after has needed to restart an arc in the shadow of what I think was an entirely complete package. And it, this happens to things all the time. Matrix 1 was a complete movie. They didn't need to at 3 and 4. And their book series, I think the Dritz series, if you've read those, like the first 3 are masterpieces and the rest just are there,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There are just times it caps. I'm done with the story. I'm waiting for someone to come out and be like, no, like Ironheart. You got to watch Ironheart. It's incredible. I don't want to hear, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Like that's not going to bring me back to Marvel nor Star Wars, to be fair.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. And I think one of the many issues with the Marvel movies is one, the multiverse thing. Like they were trying to head in a direction, and then that whole debacle happened, and instead of just, I'll be honest, replacing the actor, which they've done before, they decided to shut the whole idea down. But that honestly just felt like a waste of how many movies. And now they've
Are we talking about the villain
King?
from Loki?
King
the Conqueror,
yeah. And then they just kind of like dropped the whole plot point, but they've put so many seeds for that to happen. Now it's like it's so convoluted. Nobody knows what the hell's going on.
And they tried Secret Wars, and that didn't pan out.
Right. And I'll be honest, I didn't even see Secret Wars. And then they just dropped things. Like, I'll be honest, I liked She-Hulk. I thought it was pretty damn good. For the message that it was going for and everything, I really liked She-Hulk. But they've done nothing with it. They've done nothing with Shang-Chi. They've done, anything. And it seems to me like they're just dropping things for the sake of dropping it with no continuity in mind.
Charlie Cox coming back for Daredevil is something I did really like. And
I do like that.
But that being said, isn't Daredevil out? And I just have not watched any of it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
I bet it is.
It's great.
It's on a list, but I just keep forgetting it came out.
There's a Disney Plus flair that it doesn't feel 100% like Netflix, but it's still violent. It's still good.
Okay.
As long as there's long choreographed fight scenes in corridors, I'm happy.
That fight scene was amazing.
Yeah, they start with a really good one, so yeah, worth a watch.
I mean, the Marvel stuff could be its own podcast by itself, just going because we can go over forever of just like how good or bad about the direction they're going.
We could talk about the games and their quality declining too. Like, well, granted, I don't know how many Marvel Rivals exception, but like even the Marvel games have not been great. Rivals took the torch from Overwatch 100%. So
good. I mean, I don't know about good, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
but then you have Spider-Man.
That's on them. So yeah.
Okay, so it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 was incredible.
My only issue with Spider-Man 2 is you cannot play Venom aside from that one spot. Even after you beat the game, you can't unlock. Because that playing Venom was one of my favorite characters growing up. Like, I love Venom. And being able to play, even if it wasn't as Eddie Brock, whatever, but being able to play in my opinion, the closest rendition of Venom that we've ever gotten any video game or in media, like that was amazing. It was so cool to see how brutal Venom actually can and is. And then, but I want to play Venom. I don't want to play. Fine.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another podcast at a time, but is he the second best villain of all time from comic books after Joker? Does it go Joker, Venom?
No, I don't think so.
What about Magneto?
Yeah, that might be the top three.
No, I don't know if I'd call him a villain. He's got some very good points. Magneto's got some real good points.
Darth Vader isn't a villain either. Yeah.
No, he's a hero. Maybe not the
He's
hero
my
we deserve right
aspired
now, but
be.
the hero, whatever that line is.
This is going to get really dark really quick.
I don't know. That's another pod. We should do as a topic at some point. I'd love to like.
Man, that's the
Best
thing is like
villains.
you talk
We
about
could even do video games. Best villains in video games. would be
the
incredible.
thing about like villains though is like
I like
to
it.
me it's like yeah obviously Joker's really up there, but you could argue like Two-Face is also really up there. Batman's got some of the best goddamn villains because they're, I hate to say, what makes them so good and scary is they're villains that you could see today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's because they're facing Batman, right? I think we
Yeah,
talked about
yeah.
this. Like Superman walking through Gotham invalidates the entire cast of villains. There's nobody.
oh yeah, I mean, or you could argue that Superman would get mugged. I mean,
I would love to see that happen. Jim Carrey Riddler. Exactly. Exactly. Although, I mean, can we talk about Two-Face and oh, I forgot the actor. Oh, who did Two-Face and
Tommy Lee Jones.
Jack,
Thank you, Tommy
Oh.
Lee Jones. Jack Nicholson was Joker.
that's
Great Joker.
Yep. Dance with the
a
Devil.
little
in
rusty on the DC.
Yeah.
I do think we need probably a Mount Rushmore of villains.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, really good.
comic
I'd
book
love that.
games, might be worth discussing.
That's like Joker's worst appearance was in a Batman game
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
one of the worst final bosses.
Yeah. So
Oh,
there we
yeah,
go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Things we're gonna save for
I
later.
would love that podcast doing a video game, a comic book games, because like there's so much like Ultimate Carnage back on the Sega Super Nintendo.
Oh,
age,
damn,
and-
dude.
That's
We're
what
going
when you were
back.
talking about Spider-Man, I was thinking about that. Like that was such a good
Yeah.
game. Because do you get to be Venom too and Carnage or just Carnage? Yeah,
You get to
yeah.
play. I don't think you get to play as Carnage, but you definitely
No.
get to play as
Mm,
Venom
Spider-Man
and
and Venom,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
There you go.
That
Yeah.
was not co-op though, right? If I
It was.
recall. Okay.
It was.
It
Yeah.
was
Wow.
it was Spider-Man versus Venom that wasn't. co-op.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
And
not.
that always annoyed me. I was like, they're two characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're never gonna get to the news, Dodd. You're gonna keep,
No,
we're
we're
gonna
just
keep
gonna
going on
have to-
tangents.
yeah.
We're gonna cut it off. We will save this for another podcast, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're gonna discuss villains in Marvel comics and DC comics
Quick
and
say. Let's move on. All right.
all that.
Atlas is my biggest villain. I think we can all agree.
I did. Yeah, Homelander was pretty fucked. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Great
No one in the
series.
boys is a good guy. Nobody. Remember the Frenchman, and only sort of.
I have
Okay.
yet to see that show.
I do also want to say I did roll credits on a game, but I can save that for a couple weeks from now when we talk about games.
Are you gonna save it? Did you?
It was
finish your search?
Inside. Have you played that?
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. You
Yeah.
told us about this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Let's save that conversation. for
So
the
I'm gonna
game
save
on
that for a couple weeks, but I think it's on sale for like $1.99 right now. If you have a Switch, like
I hear it's really good. I haven't played
look
it.
on the Switch shop, it is worth $1.99 all day long.
I know how it ends,
Inside
but-
and Limbo.
Yeah.
Buy them both.
Yeah, they're both $1.99. I bought both of them.
Both worth the time.
Yeah.
3 to 5 hours, maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
Great game. So I'll save that for later, though. On to the news. So if you saw the intro, I know we have more people than we did at the beginning, but if you saw the intro, you will know that Darth Vader made a appearance in Fortnite in the way of AI.
I
So-
missed it. God, that's why I shouldn't have been here late. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Sorry, Frag.
Yeah.
You will not believe who we met.
Yeah, man. God dang it.
So he was basically live for an hour, started dropping F-bombs. What we are seeing is that Darth Vader is not really like off the rails as much as like I would say initially. It's more of he's getting baited into these kind of conversations
Yeah.
from what I can tell from seeing videos of streamers. They're baiting Darth Vader into saying an F-bomb or saying something that's kind of meme worthy or whatever and then sharing it. So that's what I noticed. Tyken, you got some strong opinions there?
Yeah, yeah. I saw the exact same thing. So
Mhm.
this I think was a big departure. When I first heard about the story, I was on vacation. My immediate thought was Tay AI. If anyone remembers, this was what, a decade ago. Microsoft released out a chatbot onto Twitter.
Mhm.
Mistake number one. 4chan heard about it. Mistake number two. And it took what, 15, 16 hours for this
16
thing to start
hours.
spouting racism and
Yeah.
anti-Semitic views and Holocaust denying. Like it was programmed and flipped heavy.
It
So
probably knew in 4 hours. Like in 4 hours, it started doing damage. And then by 16 hours, they were like, kill the project. It's dead.
yeah. And this was before large language models came out. So this was truly a chatbot that was trying to learn from language. And really, Tay AI was one of the reasons Microsoft soured on the large language models that we have today, was they didn't see that bearing fruit. It ended up going in a bad direction. So I was very worried that that's what we were going to get. I don't think we're getting that. I don't think it's that bad in the sense of Vader's not out here dropping, anti-racist or anti-Semitism or like, horrible garbage pedophilia stuff. Like what it's doing is they definitely put guardrails. They definitely try to get things for Vader to do to prevent it from doing the worst, but it will repeat someone saying the F-bomb and say like, they'll repeat the phrase with the F-bomb and then say that language is terrible. Like, that's what it's doing. It's not intentionally trying to drop the F-bomb. It's like getting caught in its own stuff. The other big one I saw that people were talking about a lot is it said the derogatory term for homosexual, the F word for homosexual. But if you listen to it, it says, oh, these F words are cancerous. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's talking about cigarettes.
Cigarette,
yeah.
Which,
yeah.
Granted, even the Brits know at this point that that's offensive in America and wouldn't use that. So ideally the LLM wouldn't have done it, but you saw that they were coaxing it. They were getting it to that point. And the fact that I've only seen so much, I'm kind of impressed with how well it's done, despite the fact, and I'll throw it to one of you to take over, it was a bad idea. This was a bad idea to do. So someone take that
Frag.
I guess for me, like, I don't understand. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play those battle royale games anymore. I am very not hip and cool with the kids. I don't know. Man.
What?
I know, right? So to me, the idea of putting, was it Riz? I had to look up that word. I'm so old. I don't understand why you would put that in that game. All the different types of games that you could put an AI if you're going to go that route. I don't understand why in a battle royale. Who's got that kind of time? Isn't a battle royale the map is shrinking? Like you only have so much time, and Fortnite you're always trying to get resources and stuff, isn't it? Like builders is like non-building anymore. I don't understand.
A majority of people playing that game just to socialize. Like it's that kind of game.
Okay.
Like there's a game going on, but people will all the time just hang around and chat and then get killed and meet each other in the lobby. Like it's a lifestyle game, which is wild to think.
It's a lifestyle game. What does that even mean?
I mean,
it's like Second Life.
RuneScape, actually, I think is a really good example. Like that game's boring as shit. I don't know why people pretend it's not. What was great about RuneScape is I got to click on the log while I'm chatting with all of my friends. That's what made RuneScape amazing. And Fortnite's just a better version of that. Yeah, okay. I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Second Life.
Yeah. So I'll go a little bit more into why I think this was a bad idea. It isn't because, and I'll start with the good. I actually think this is super neat. Like the technology for large language models to so quickly respond. That was something that surprised me. So a couple of years ago, they came out with a mod for Skyrim that used OpenAI's API to let you talk to any NPC character. And then they used 11 labs to make it sound like that character. And it was super cool. The problem is every video you watch, they cut the delay. It took like a minute and a half for a character to respond. Watching these videos of Darth Vader responding in James Earl Jones's voice, in near real time, not quite, there's a delay, but it's near real time, is incredible technology.
I agree with that. I did see those videos, and it's impressive as hell. The technology is very impressive. It's come a long way.
And it sounds like him, right? Like it sounds like James Earl Jones. It doesn't sound like someone pretending to be the character. It sounds like Darth Vader talking. On top of that, the things he's saying, with some exception, is Darth Vader responding to people in real time as the character of Darth Vader. Even though, think how weird that must be for even the large language model to be like, they said Riz to me. What does Darth Vader do with that language? You know, like it has to figure out how to make that in world, and it does fairly decent.
Yeah.
But what I'll say, where the problem lies in my head, is this was a really high profile release. Fortnite's obviously one of the biggest games literally ever, but right now one of the biggest games, period. Why use James Earl Jones's voice for this experimental feature? Like, it felt so disrespectful, even though his family was very much on board. Like, James Earl Jones signed his voice away.
Yeah.
Potentially. Like, they went out, they did reach out to James Earl Jones's family and like pitch the idea. And they were very excited about the opportunity for other people to see Darth Vader in a very popular game. But it just, could you just pick something else, or like made another AI for just as a test to see if this works before you go out and use Darth Vader's voice?
Yeah. And so we're also seeing SAG-AFTRA's getting involved with rights of voice actors and all that kind of stuff. And they're kind of like, are we doing this right? And yeah, it's like, why did we use his voice? Why didn't we just open it up to somebody else? One of the questions I was going to prompt on is like, is Darth Vader the right person? Maybe a Deadpool character where it can go a little off the rails in character.
That would have been amazing.
Might have, and I have a bias because I wear the hat, but something like that could have probably worked a little bit more, and we wouldn't have to worry about tarnishing James Earl Jones and reputation and all that kind of stuff.
Andor just came out, right?
Yeah.
That's why
they have a huge Star Wars. There's a huge Star Wars push right now in Fortnite, so it's all part of that theme. It's just like, why do we need this in Fortnite, though?
Well, I will say this: like Deadpool, you're not going to get Deadpool. Not Deadpool will go too far.
Not Ryan Reynolds, right?
You're not going to get Ryan Reynolds.
I'm not Deadpool
you mean
general.
the character?
I'm talking about the character Deadpool. You want to talk about guardrails? There's no guardrails with Deadpool.
Yeah,
that thing is like if you're worried about what a character that is a company about what a character is going to say that could potentially be like litigious towards like, this character said something offensive to my kid. You don't want Deadpool there. Anywhere near it.
But I would accept Deadpool dropping F-bombs.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
not in Fortnite.
Maybe. Like, I think people would be like, why'd you put Deadpool in Fortnite? But no one would be like, why did Deadpool drop an F-bomb?
That I will say. Yes, I would agree with that one. But like going on like the timing, like it makes sense if you're going to do a Star Wars thing. Again, Andor just came out. Which, everyone who's watching Andor is going to go back and watch Rogue One, which is one of the best appearances of Darth Vader.
And a great movie.
There's a whole lot of push going on right now. I think then they just announced recently that they're going to do another like Rey series of movies or something like that.
Rey I don't think so. They were. I think
they were.
Yeah, I could have sworn I heard something about that recently. Yeah.
Management changes and everything. Yeah, who knows?
But I mean, Darth Vader is a cool character. I think everybody agrees with that. I think that if they're going to do a Star Wars, May is May 4th, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, so I get why they did it.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. Except for the thing I go back to is this was not a proven technology, and you don't go out and like see how fast your nitro boost can go on a Ferrari. You throw it in a Hyundai and you see what happens, right?
right.
That's how I felt. It was like, I think the technology is cool. I'm excited for AI generated NPCs. We talked about this before the podcast started, but like I want fully fleshed out NPCs that have full conversations and will respond in real time to me. That's
I'm
going
gonna
to
make
be
a counterpoint.
incredible.
I would actually
Ooh.
argue that Darth Vader is the perfect test. Darth
Why?
Vader is not known for long, drawn out speeches. Darth Vader is known to get down to the point and say what needs to be said in as few words as possible. And also not put up with a lot of, for lack of better words, bullshit when it comes to what people are going to say. So if you're going to put guardrails on a character and also put him in something where you want to test how fast it responds, if someone tries to make him say something, and again, obviously people have gotten around that on certain things, but if you have it where no, I don't want you saying that, Darth Vader is the perfect character to say, you're wasting my time, or however else, that Darth would say it. I'm not Darth. I wouldn't know. But I think this would be actually a great test for that.
It'd be a great test for Darth Vader. I think it's a bad test for James Earl Jones. I think
I mean, I'm not going to argue that point. I think those are two different conversations.
Changes. Yeah. I think if James Earl Jones was still alive, that's a different conversation. But the fact he's not, and he's the real high profile, sold his voice to be used in future AI things, that's where it sort of gets like.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of like cheapening the moment. This is a big moment. This is going to be looked at. People are going to write college papers about this and books about this.
Oh, sure.
This is going to be huge. The problem, I think, is that it kind of cheapens the use of AI, where I believe his intent was to sign for Disney and keep Star Wars going or keep stuff in the realm of that. I know his family approved this and everything and they're into it, but I feel like this is probably not what he had in mind when he signed up for this.
Well,
I could be wrong.
I think they're two different conversations. Is it a waste of using James Earl Jones's voice and on something like that is very different than saying the AI, is it a waste of an AI? And when it comes to the AI, I think it was a perfect test. I think it worked out. Honestly, I think it worked out great for an AI test. James Earl Jones, like that, I think that's also a matter of opinion and a matter of taste. Like, do I think it was a waste? Yeah, but also at the same time, when doing research and watching some of those videos, I'm not gonna lie, I turned on a video of what was happening. I looked over to my left to see what was going on over there, and I heard him speak, and I got chills for a second. There was a moment it was like I heard his voice again, and it was like, oh God, what? And I had to instantly slow look back at my phone and just oh yeah, that's right, I'm watching this. And it definitely, again, gave me chills. Not what I was hoping to hear him on and talking about Riz and whatnot, but it was still amazing. But going back to the SAG and all that stuff, there's a lot of issues when it comes to what voice actors experience, and especially when it comes to the gaming market. Games can make hundreds of millions of dollars, some more than that, depending if you're a GTA
Billions.
or not.
I mean, video games make more than movies.
Yeah, and you could be the main character in the game, and guess what? You got $50,000 for your job. That's all you're ever going to get. The game, again, makes tons. That character is now iconic. You don't see any of that. They want you back for more. Guess what? It's going to be the same amount they gave you last time. Well, I feel like it has to be royalties depending on that. I know, but they've been fighting it. I know the Voice Actor Guild is still on strike since July of last year. Obviously because July doesn't happen this year, but but I feel like there's an argument to say if you're going to do this, there needs to be royalties. There needs to be compensation of one way or another. And I don't feel like this met that criteria.
I think they did pay for, and he in sound mind signed over the rights to his voice.
Sure.
Yeah. I think you kind of hit on my sort of like back and forth I've had in my brain about this, of where like I think the tech's amazing. I actually don't even mind that Darth Vader's in Fortnite as someone that you can interact with him and talk with him, and he gets to voice. He is that character. He's Darth Vader doing that. I think that's amazing, and I love the idea of characters being able to exist beyond the realm of just the human experience. That like Darth Vader is now a thing that will exist as long as we have technology to keep him alive. There's interest in my mind of that. It really again goes to like this shouldn't have been your test. This should have been your like coming out party, and you should have had like another test or two before that. I don't think it's wrong to have used James Earl Jones's voice in this. I just think it was wrong to have this be the first high profile use of a large language model with an existing voice. I think that was their mistake.
Yep.
So I don't know, but we could dive into another topic. We won't, but I'll just briefly say this is why SAG is on strike. This is why the voice actors are so worried, because I see so much, especially online, of people downplaying AI constantly. It's slop. It's garbage. It's, why anyone likes AI. It's just businesses doing this. This shit's really good, and it keeps getting really good faster than you know.
Yeah.
And here is Fortnite, a video game, doing a almost perfect rendition of James Earl Jones's voice in real time. Again, for a free video game for kids to play with. That's how fucking good this thing is. And every time I hear people downplay it, I'm like, you don't know. You really, you're just mad AI hasn't taken your job, but it will.
And it's language processing, some 8-year-old that's playing Fortnite, with the crazy voice or whatever. And it's reacting to that in real time. So it is, this is really cool tech. I think it's this is the wrong platform to use this for first time, but maybe not Fortnite. Fortnite might be the right platform.
I would actually argue it's the right platform because exactly that reason. Like, again, you're having people of varying mic qualities, varying dialects and languages,
for sure,
and different pitches depending on their age. And you're throwing it again at a character who's not known for giving long speeches and having a huge vocabulary of things that they're going to say. I think, again, Vader, perfect character to do this, perfect test for the AI. I mean, but again, maybe going like, is it not the right time to debut James Earl Jones AI? Again, I can't really argue one way or another on that one. Again, if this is the first test, then hopefully the next thing will be great. I'm also kind of like, let the man die in peace. There's that also argument. And
he wanted the character to live on.
Oh, I know.
That was a very active thing from him. And you know what? He gets to be immortalized in some regards because of this.
Yeah.
I just wish that and again, this goes back to one of the arguments that SAG-AFTRA, is that as they're saying, is saying is that they were never consulted and contacted about the use of it. And you could argue that even though he did sell his rights to it, it was still a union member and they should have been contacted first. They weren't even arguing that they could use it, but they're arguing that they needed to be contacted first. I mean, kept in the loop of all this whole thing, which I kind of agree with them on.
JC DeSantis points out that really this is not the first time that Star Wars and Fortnite have been in bed together. Rise of the Skywalker, literally that horrible movie was you need to have been aware of Fortnite to bridge the second and third of the new trilogy, which is out of the mind. So I guess that's that's they
is that how you would make those movies make sense? You had to play Fortnite.
Yeah. They announced that Palpatine was coming back in Fortnite, and that's the pre-release to the third movie. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Palpatine's back for some reason.
Crazy story.
We're gonna move past this and just this is a big moment. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So the next big thing I wanted to point out kind of another controversial topic, but Bungie is accused of art theft in Marathon. Have you guys looked into this or read it or?
I don't know anything about this, but I will
I
form an
know
opinion.
lots about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's an artist out there. She had her stuff online. One of the, is it a sourcing artist or somebody that did like small, like little background stuff in the art of Bungie? He went and stole her stuff and put it into the game, basically. And then she saw it on some of the like preview gameplay. She's like, oh, it's kind of like my art. Oh, it is my art. That's my logo.
It's
like
100%,
all this. Yeah, 100% her stuff. Yeah. So, Bungie. I don't know if that person that put that all in there is still there.
Probably not.
They're very apologetic about it. But there's other problems with Marathon going on right now. The morale is not good. This is like the tip of the iceberg. This is what we can see about that company right now. And there's other problems going on at Bungie. So
wow.
This is not really key. This is not the first time that Bungie has been credibly accused of stealing art. It's not like some rogue developer. They've done this before. They did this in Destiny, right? They got slapped hard. They had to pay a bunch of money to the artist for some of the artwork on maps and designs. And now, like, Frag, you've got to see this story. They literally she is showing like, here's my artwork. Here's the exact image they used. So much so, they used her personal icon she uses for her art.
Oh my God, really?
Framed right in the middle of these pictures.
Like they're not even trying to hide it.
No. And look, there's I have two thoughts. One, there's a lot of free shit you could just download on Unity Store all over the place. People just make stuff for you to use. Two, AI exists.
I was thinking shit like a big
thing. Like it is beyond.
That way, there's some deniability on the stealing of the art.
Yeah, this is Bungie too. This isn't some like small indie dev that's working on one. Like Destiny 2 made a boatload of money, and here they are continuing to steal assets. Why?
Wow! Holy crap! That's so stupid.
It's really disappointing to see
the lack of competence on this. I'm almost impressed. Like.
I was already
laziness on a scale. I
was already really kind of nervous about Marathon. Like that trailer seemed fun, but it really felt to me like Bungie's trying to find a voice and trying to find a direction. Like they hit it out of the park with Halo. They hit it out of the park with Destiny, and they don't know what to do from there. I think there's a market downgrade. People might disagree with me between Halo and Destiny. They 100%. Just happened to capitalize on the sort of looter shooter at a time when people needed it. And now it's become sort of ingrained. But man, Marathon, do we need another extraction shooter was already in my brain. And now I'm looking at it going like, this was your side project that you're now trying to hope is going to be something fun. And now people are catching all the shit that you cut corners on. Yeah. And they
were looking for a voice and they found somebody else's art instead.
Yeah. Well, this feels like a game that lacks vision, and not having your own art assets or caring enough about the world around you just tells me that this game doesn't have vision.
Wow.
So it's amazing. They're gonna eat a huge fine for something, and I
mean they deserve it. I mean, come on.
Why do this? Like Jesus.
I'm definitely going to be looking this up later and just being.
Oh, you're going to rage.
Oh my God.
Rage.
Yeah.
Why? Like you said, there's so many other resources.
I like that one.
Well, okay. Then buy it, you bastard.
Yeah. There's that.
I don't know. Bungie's a shadow of what it was, and it's sad to see. And a lot of game companies keep going this way. I feel like Blizzard's another one that like. Keeps hollowing itself out.
Companies that start with B.
BioWare,
Blizzard, Bungie.
I think we're onto something. Yeah. They have a short shelf life. You got to name a Z.
The Bluminati. That's what this is.
The backlog. All right.
Oh,
Oh no!
We're almost there, guys. So, last piece of news I want to discuss or cover today. Nintendo talks about free Switch 2 updates for a lot of their games. A lot of games are getting higher resolutions, HDR support. One of the coolest things I've seen on some of these games is you can share a game locally or online with game chat. So basically one person owns it. It's like Split Fiction, right? One person owns the game. You share the games to your friends. Very cool idea. I hope we see this in like Mario Kart, Mario Party, that kind of stuff. One of the games that I specifically want to mention in regards to this was Super Mario 3D World. So that'll be a game where you can share locally or online with game chat. So one friend has that. I think you play up to 4 players, right? And tons of fun. So I can't wait to see how that works.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the fact that they are supporting their back catalog pretty heavily, and this sort of reinforce that behavior that we will see Switch 1 games go to Switch 2. It doesn't seem like it's just a straight port. They need to do some work, and out of that you get some benefits, right? HDR support was said a lot in there. I had one small thing, and it was just Link's Awakening. They didn't say that it boosts the FPS. That's like the biggest criticism about that game. That just tells me that that game's code is just not great and unfortunate. But you know, I still enjoy that support's happening, and they're doing the right thing, making most of it free. I think that's just the smart thing. I think they should do it to the rest of them. Make your Zelda games free for people that already own it digitally. And then you can resell a Switch 2 version of it. Like,
Mario Party.
My biggest issue
it's good, but do more.
One of my big issues with Nintendo right now is I was recently looking to see like how expensive some of the games were, because I not for a Switch 2, but like going back, like I was like, hey, Hyrule Warrior, like the first one that came out, like my son's 10. I think that'd be he loves the Zelda games. I think that'd be a really cool game to play. Oh, it's still like $50. Why?
They never drop. They
don't
never drop it. Like this game came out years ago. Why is it still $60?
Was Player's Choice the last time, like on the GameCube, that they would do like $20 games? Like, I can't remember.
They did it on the Wii.
They did.
Yeah.
But Wii U, Switch era, absolutely not. They kept them the full price. Even when they re-release games like Donkey Kong Country that came out just recently, they still release it at $60. Like, and here's the thing, Mario Kart's like in the top 10 regularly still today throughout its entire life cycle. And I mean top 10 like sold units in the last month. So I hate it. It keeps working though.
Yeah.
Well, like, people are still buying them.
Yeah.
It just really gets on my nerves. It makes me not want to support them. But like, I will say, if you want to play that kind of games, like they do have that market pretty cornered.
Oh yeah. If they didn't make some of the best games ever, Nintendo would be dead as a company because their practices suck. But every franchise these guys put their hands on comes out being one of the best premier games for you to play. And I know some people want to pretend otherwise, like Frag will downplay Mario. He's out of his mind. They're still the best games that come out.
I can argue that Mario games with the Mario games that come out are of quality. I can definitely argue. I think you're right. They are. I could also argue that Mario is by far one of the most overdone and overrated characters that's ever existed. The amount of games that come out that are Mario related are ridiculous, especially for games that don't need to be Mario related. Like put a freaking new character on there.
Well, I mean, but it won't sell. So
they have the largest IP and they still do nothing with 99% of their stuff. Like,
sure. But Mario Kart's amazing. You know, Odyssey, I think, still the best platformer that's ever existed. Like,
we played that this weekend. It was great.
Did you?
Yeah. I beat it when it first came out, but yeah, my 6-year-old wanted to play it. It It was
You're out of your
lovely.
goddamn mind.
Yeah, great game.
I will die on this hill.
All right.
Someone's dying on this hill.
Alone, maybe, but I will die on this hill.
I'll be up there with a knife.
All right. Well, we are going to move past the hill of the news and talk about Backlog a little more. I've changed the name of this segment, but it's going to be play now, backlog it, or pass. Okay.
Okay.
And this is this is the Marry Screw Kill game, but for games. So we get to talk about them. And is it Smash?
So it's
Pass. Smash.
Pass.
So what is the criteria? Backlog means I'll get it but not play it.
I'm gonna get it, but I'm not gonna play it immediately. I might play it in a year. I might play it in 6 months. So yeah.
Okay. So
or try
backlog it or
so
Smash.
Play now, backlog, or pass. Smash.
Play, backlog.
Pass.
I feel like you guys don't remember the Smash and Pass from Markiplier. No, I'll send you the video.
I watched the Game Grumps
send
one
it.
about
Yeah.
Pokemon
I'll
and
send you
stuff.
the video. You'll love it. It's wonderful. All right. Don't worry about it. You guys are too young. I'll tell you when you're older. Let's move on.
Did you like buy try pass better?
No, I like this one. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
we're good.
problem I
I
had
just
with
wanna make
buy
sure.
is I have Xbox Game Pass. So I was like, oh.
yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh, I'm not gonna buy it
I've
because
got
I
a
have too many
PlayStation
games.
version, yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus.
All right.
Premium
So
for them.
we're gonna start with the Revenge of Savage Planet.
All right,
Backlog.
who's starting? Backlog.
Backlog.
I guess I just started.
Yeah.
Backlog. I want to play the first one, so I own it, but haven't played it yet.
Cool. I played it for a few hours. It is kind of slowly seeping into my backlog though, with everything else that came out too. I was happy to try it though, so I will put it in the backlog portion.
It's also going in my backlog. I'm not doing it because I want to play the first one. I love the animations. It looks like it's going to be fun. I'm happy for a co-op. What has not excited me is I am not in need of a survival crafter at the moment. Like there's just a billion of them, and there's a bunch that are good. I'm playing Sons of the Forest right now as an example. That is a pseudo survival crafter.
Mhm.
I've already talked about picking up Minecraft server probably pretty soon. It's like, I like it. They're just in a genre that's oversaturated. So I want to try it. I want to play it a little bit, see if it'll hook me. But it's also going to be one of those games that it's going to get like 3 to 5 hours. Well, Atlas says wait for sale, but it's also on Xbox Game Pass. So I mean, it's free for me to play. But it's got like a 3 to 5 hours to hook me, and if it doesn't, it's done. So I like the trailers. Looks good, but I'm not excited about it.
Oh, the full motion video and everything in there too is like just hilarious. So good times. And then Zach says wait for sale or backlog. So it's kind of where we're all shoving it. I'm sure it'll come up sometime on a Friday or Saturday, and yeah.
I need Hank's dad says Dune. I need to see a trailer for that. I have not.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't even watched the new
Is that on
movies
our
at all,
list,
so-
Don?
No, because that's going to be on the next list. The next time we do this. So
Okay.
I will just say Dune.
shelf
I am
it.
very excited for it. And then I'll just put it there.
Yeah.
Very excited for that game.
Okay, what do you got?
So this time we're getting into the first week of Switch 2. So we'll get into that stuff too. But as Zach said, we're talking Doom.
Backlog.
What do you backlog?
My computer can't run that shit. Are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
Game
I mean,
Pass.
Doom is very optimized. Like that's one thing I love about the Doom games. Like they run well on the Switch, and it's
crashing on a lot of people right now.
Is
and
it?
having some- yeah. I think Moist Critical is saying that he tried playing it. It was like 20 times in this stream or something like that. So, like, I'll backlog it. There's other games I want to play right now anyway, but it does look really good.
I'm gonna say I'm backlogging it, but before I get stabbed in the comments, all right. Doom, it's just I haven't got to the franchise, and I really wanted to start with Doom 2016 and work my way. I know it's in
You
my
haven't gotten
pile
the
of
franchise.
shame.
Dude, Doom came out like 30 years ago.
This happens before
I've
that
just
one,
got
though,
through
How
right?
long
Zach?
is your backlog?
No,
Isn't this the prequel?
it is. It is. Well, I don't know, but I want to play 2016 Doom, and I want to just do like a Doom run through all three. I think they would be fun to like.
Doom 64.
Yeah, I want to start with Doom 64 and work my way up. No, I just the Doom came out at a time I was playing other games, and it sort of just fell to the wayside, and I haven't got to it. So this is backlog strictly because I need to just buckle down and play through the Doom games, and I just haven't done it yet. But I am excited about it.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I believe timeline, just to get that out there, I think it's 64, like Doom 64, this game, and then the 2016 version.
There's
Correct
no
me if I'm
world
wrong.
where
Where's
I
Dwayne
care about the
Johnson
lore of
coming to
Doom.
this? Like,
So
where's
you
the
have
game
to-
timeline?
You're
Where's
going to
the
have to
rock?
start with Doom 64 and then go to this
I
next.
beat Doom 64. I
There
beat
you go.
Doom 3. I played my share of Dooms. Played the original Doom
Yeah.
back on my Windows 95. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm a virgin to the thing. I haven't got through 2016 in a bunch yet, which is a shame.
So I feel like this is higher on my playlist. Like it's not quite backlog for me. I feel like this is the next game I'm really going to get into.
Okay, so you're like, bye.
I'm in the buy play for it. It is
Okay.
very, like, I've played a couple hours already. It's very nice to play. Watch Zach play for a while, and it was a very beautiful game. The movement's great. It doesn't look too, like, you can scale up the difficulty and everything, but it's not like too much of a, like, hurting your mind to play this game or whatever. Not a critical thinking thing. You just kind of blast through it.
I mean,
Heavy-
it's Doom. Like,
Listen to some heavy metal and just get through it. So
heavy metal. You just listen to the
weirdly-
game music.
yeah.
It feels weirdly zen, right? It's that sort of
Yeah,
like you just
yeah.
get into the flow and you let the game go, and you
And
get
then
to feel like a badass. And
There's
I love
this
that
melee
idea.
thing where it's like hold up your shield, slam in front, and like it just like kind of you get in this groove of like listening to the music, hitting the people with the shield,
Sure.
and it's great.
I will say this
Melodic.
one thing I did like that I saw was the accessibility options, and I think that could be
Oh,
also
yeah.
a topic for later is games and accessibility. So coming from someone who's colorblind, I think it's really I like seeing, but they gave a lot of options to somebody who just wants to play the game, but also maybe can't, has a difficulty with difficulty.
Mhm.
So I like what I'm seeing. But I
For
ain't gonna
sure.
play that for anytime soon.
I was very worried, and this was sort of a surprise comeback when John Carmack left. Like there was a lot of concern about like what's going to happen to Doom.
The
He was
direction
such a
and-
big voice and such a huge developer. He's still a monolith to the community, but they've done an amazing job of not only resurrecting that franchise into something that's modern and special, but also spending the time to keep on the legacy of making a quality product.
Yeah.
Like the Doom games, and I'm sad to hear on this latest one, but like the last two Doom games, again, they run on everything. Like, and they really care about things like accessibility and controller compatibility, and like they're making a full product, and it's incredible. to see.
Wasn't there issues with the last release though, the last Doom game regarding like some of the things like you had to agree to play it. It's been a while, and I remember
was
there
this
being
review copy issues? Like they were
don't-
requiring not negative reviews for it or something like
there
that.
there may have been
Mm.
that, but no, I was thinking something like where like always having to be online, and then there was some weird issue with that too. It's been a while. I could be thinking about something else and be
I
completely
refuse
wrong.
to allow you to besmirch the name. How dare you? I honestly don't remember.
All right. Okay. So we got Savage Planets, all of us backlog. We got for Doom 2 backlogs and 1 buy.
Yep.
Yep.
All right,
Oh,
now we're
got it.
moving on to probably the greatest game on this list. Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping.
I honestly, and you must have put this on the list. This must have been a treasure for you. I've not played. This is a franchise, right? The DuckTales
There's something about the Duck Detective and
Duck
the
Detective,
Slimy or something. I don't know.
I appreciate them. It's a sort of detective-y adventure style game.
Comedy, maybe point and click-ish.
Okay.
It's kind of giving me the Sam and Max vibes without mature humor.
Without the Sam or Max.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass until someone tells me it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Pass.
It's
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. I've seen the Duck Detective games. I've heard good things about them. There's just too many other good games to play. I haven't got to fucking Doom. I'm not gonna wait around to play Duck Detective. Right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
Bragg's
So it's a pass.
Yeah, pass. I've never heard of it. I'll have to watch something about it.
You'll have to watch it. Yeah. Then we have Formula One 2025.
Pass.
I had to throw it on there.
I could give a
Pass.
yeah.
Don't put a racer that's not
Forza?
Burnout.
Forza, yes.
Gran Turismo?
Forza or Burnout. Or bring Midnight Club back. That's the only way you're getting me.
Oh god, that game. What I will say about comparing like F1 25 to like NASCAR or whatever, I think the F1 games are a lot better. So I'm not going to go out of my way to buy this game, but if it happens to show up on Game Pass in a year, I'm probably going to play it.
There's more than a left turn.
And I have the wheel and the clutch and everything, so I'm like,
oh nice.
I'm into those games.
Oh nice.
And what I will say is like the Formula One games and the Forza Motorsports, not Horizon, those games are very good on the wheel. Horizon gets a little sloppy, so yeah.
Those simulation games, I mean, starting with like Gran Turismo, right? They have their niche, and the people that love them really love them, and I respect it. It's never hooked me. I'm not a car guy, so it's not that I don't think they're great. I think they're just not great for me. You know, the Football Manager Simulator is another one where it's like, I recognize that this is built for other people to really enjoy,
someone loves it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Awesome. Another indie. So yeah, that'll be on my backlog if it ever shows up in there. Moving on to Cattle Country. Have you guys seen this?
About this? I have not seen this. What
Country?
Is Cattle Country?
Throw it on your wish list or check it on Steam. Like it looks like Stardew Valley, but it's a little more Western, and there's like straight up shooting. And I love the way Tyken froze right now.
I know, right? I was thinking the same thing. All right, it's called, was it Cattle Country?
I'm coming back.
Oh, he's coming back. How do you purposely do that?
I switched to a screen to watch the trailer of it.
Nice. So yeah, it looks decent. It's very Stardew Valley-ish. Farming
ish
or
this is like
Harvest Moon.
This is wish.com Harvest Valley.
There you go.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. It
There's
really
shooting
is.
though. There's guns. What do you guys think?
Is this Pal World? Is this Pal World the Pokemon? Is that your gun argument?
No,
I don't think it's there.
Pass.
It's a pass. We do not need more cozy farmer games for me to jump into.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait for
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I'll wait for number 2, Stardew Valley. So, all right, off the list. I'm pass as well. We have Elden Ring Night Rain.
That's a buy. That's 100% a buy. I am so excited. Elden Ring's one of the best games I've ever played, and I have a multiplayer, action-oriented in that world. It's going to be a little different for the fighting style of Elden Ring. I think that's for the best. It's 100% a buy for me. I will be day one purchasing it. I will be getting a group of people together, and I will be playing it day one. I am so on board for this game.
Oh man, I'm torn only because like I love Dark Souls, Demon Souls. I was all for it. Played Elden Ring and just I didn't have anybody to play with, and it was also one of those things where it's like I didn't know where to go, and I've
never been offended from someone else talking as much as I am right now.
I want to play it. Like I bought it full price and I played it for like a good 15, I was gonna say 20 hours. Like I didn't play that one, maybe 10 to 15 hours. and I kind of just fell off it because I didn't know really where to go, which was weird because again, knowing the other games, there is a clear-ish sort of direction that you go, but because it's the first open real-ish world that they've done, I had a hard time figuring out the flow of the game. And then, with it being I'm effectively me playing at single player and all that, I was like, I want to buy it, especially if it's like a better supported for multiplayer. I would add this to my buy list and I would play it.
Frag, would you play co-op Elden Ring with me this week?
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not?
Okay, done. I will 100% jump back into that game and play.
I have not played it in a long time.
The co-op mode or the co-op mod for Elden Ring is incredible. I think 2-player Elden Ring is an even better experience than the single player. And that's a hot take on my end, but yeah.
All right, let's do it. I would 100% play that.
Yeah.
So
we can stream it too.
Yeah, stream it. So I am at a buy for this as well. I don't know if I'm going to buy it right away. With the Switch, this comes out. What is this? The week after next, the same week the Switch 2 comes out. So it's like, I don't know. And I also have to work a long week that week, so I don't know if I'm going to buy it right away. And then Dune comes out the next week. So it's like, this is kind of a nightmare of releases. And thank you, Grand Theft Auto, for pushing everything to this fucking part of the calendar. Cause that's who I blame. But, yeah, I'm going to play it eventually. It's on my list. And it's, like I said, slightly just like Doom. It's higher than a backlog. I just don't know if I'm going to play it right when it comes out.
It's like caveat. I forgot I bought it on PlayStation. So I'll have to see if I have $60 to throw around because it's still $60.
Nah, wait till it's on sale.
Yeah, it goes on sale often.
We'll play it the second it goes on sale on PC. Pick it up. We'll play it.
Okay, deal.
100%. We'll have a good time.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll tell you every time. I'll be like, "Hey, go down that hallway, see if there's anything there." It will always
let me
be a
experience
trap.
it. Don't say anything.
Oh, you'll experience.
It's Elden Ring, Dark Souls. Everywhere's a trap. Like, what's in the hallway? Death.
Yep.
Night Rain
is on that hallway. Death. Okay,
the game's a little bit cheaper than a full release game, right?
Yeah,
I think it's $40.
What is?
Night Rain.
It's important to know that Elden Ring Night Rain is a completely different game from a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring. I don't even think it's done by Miyazaki. Oh shoot, I can't remember the guy's name. I was gonna say Miyazaki, but I'm afraid that's the guy that did, Owl's Flying Castle and whatnot. Anyway, the main guy who did Elden Ring, I don't think did Night Rain. I think Night Rain is done by a different group, but it's a 3-player timed base, so almost an extraction shooter in the Elden Ring universe, where you kind of land in, and then the world sort kind of closes in on you, and you need to get to defeating
battle
the boss.
royale.
But it's just PvE, right?
It's just PvE. I think it's closer. The tension is meant to ramp up like Risk of Rain 2. I think that's probably more closer comparison. So every time you play, you're going to get new skills, you're going to fight different bosses, you're going to unlock different weapons, you'll have upgrades that only last for that run. So it's a very different game from Dark Souls and Elden Ring. I'm just excited because I love the Elden Ring. I think FromSoft makes some of the best like visual storytelling and interesting worlds and levels and bosses. So I'm very excited to jump back more into that world and explore it, even if it's not the same experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be good. I think there's going to be a lot of people that jump in and they're going to be like, this is like an hour long and I just run and fight things. And I'm like, yeah, that's what this is. And I think there will be people disappointed, but I'm hoping I'm not going to be one of them.
It sounds like, it sounds like a game I'd pass on. It sounds like it'd be very fun, but one, I'm like, I need more than just I hate to say it, like a Call of Duty kind of game where it's just all multiplayer.
It's more roguelite. I think roguelite is probably the way to think.
You said it was PvP or PvE?
PvE.
Oh, I heard PvP. Enemies. My bad. Okay.
No. I'm not interested. I've never been interested in PvP in those games. I'm interested in watching people PvP.
Oh, sure, 100%.
But not for me.
It still is something I'd pass. I need a little bit more than just an hour or two of like content if you're just doing the same thing over.
Sweet.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so I have 2 Switch 2 releases. These are launch titles.
Pass.
Yeah, Frag's a pass. So
Pass.
it's mainly for me and you, and we already know the first one, but it's going to be Mario Kart World first.
Pass. Sorry.
I mean, it's obviously it's the must buy for the Switch 2. If you're getting a Switch 2, you're getting Mario Kart. Like, there's nothing else that's coming out in that short time frame that justifies you buying the game at launch. It's also a pack-in title for $50 more, which is the cheapest possible way you can play that game.
So you're getting it, you have no choice, really.
Well, no, you could buy it without, but then what are you
Just
playing?
not buy it.
Everything that came out on another system.
Listen,
Right.
like I said, I will have an opinion no matter what.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Don?
Very excited about it. I mean, I've already bought it, so I'm
Right.
just waiting for the shipment. Yep.
I have not, by the way. I will tell you, Nintendo has yet to get to me about a pre-order.
I haven't seen those yet either.
Don't
Yeah, which I-
pre-order.
Yeah.
Don't pre-order.
Well, you have to pre-order.
Look at my
consoles. That's a
mistake of
different-
pre-orders. Don't pre-order.
That you proudly put. You're only mad it doesn't fit on your head, not that
No,
what
it
it looks
fits
like.
just fine.
Oh,
All right. It was a mistake. A lesson learned. Don't
oh,
pre-order.
Zach wants to buy my other one. Look at that.
I think the Switch 2, Mario Kart's a great starting title, and even Frag may not love Mario Kart, but Mario Kart's such an easy title to bust out with
Fine.
everybody.
It's another
It's great
Mario
for kids. It's great
Yeah.
for family.
game.
This looks like it's got an actual skill ceiling, which, I think the last Mario Kart had a good balance between it. I think this one leans even more into the skill of grinding on rails, grinding off walls, and I'm hoping they sort of allow much more technical prowess to matter. And that's a good direction. It's always a hard balance between dealing with the
God
casuals.
damn
and
that
dealing
keyboard.
with
Oh my God. Sorry.
I was being covert.
Go for my
I had to make sure Zach knew. Oh, it went to YouTube too. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah.
It's always a tough road that Nintendo has to run, where it needs to be casual and competitive. And this looks like it might lean a little more competitive, and I'm hoping that's true because I'm ready for
Okay.
a more competitive Mario Kart. But even if it's not, if it's just this giant open world and getting to explore and do all the cool stuff and ride around as a cow on a motorcycle, you got me. That's all I need out of life.
Yeah. Just to go back in time a little bit, because I realize, we're a podcast. Not everyone's going to watch this on a video. The thing I'm pointing at that was my mistake, wrong hand, is my Fallout 76 helmet that I pre-ordered to over $200 worth for a shitty game. So don't pre-order. Learn from my mistakes.
Did you get the
Be
Pit Boy?
No, I got that shit. And I got a
Oh,
vinyl bag.
I think 4 came with the Pit
Sorry,
Boy.
not a vinyl. It was vinyl, but it was supposed to be a canvas. A Pit Boy would have been
Counterpoint.
really cool.
I pre-ordered the special edition Fallout 3, and I still have that lunchbox, and that lunchbox is dope.
I mean, that's at least
So-
useful. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
like
take it to
Jason-
lunch every day.
Fallout 76
Mine's-
is better now. I'm sorry, yeah, now. How long ago that game came out?
It's also still not great. It's just
No, it's still
better.
not great. And somebody asked to prove that it does fit. Yes, all right, fine, I'll prove it.
Oh, here we go again. How many
He
helmets
was-
can
he
we
was-
get on this, man?
He has hair. He shaves
It
it
is
for
pretty
more
big.
outfits. Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For those of you watching on the podcast, he's putting on the helmet.
Yes.
Now he's dancing. All right.
There we go.
His face is stuck into it. He's pulling out. This is just for the people listening. He's screaming. Oh, God, there's blood everywhere. It's horrific. I'm glad you're not watching. Okay, he's better now. He's back.
That is,
Okay, what was that?
it's impressive that it fits. And like,
What's wrong with it? It looks cool.
no, it,
No,
it
that was
does
the best
look
part of the
cool.
whole the pre-order, but it's
Ah,
definitely not worth $200.
So I pre-ordered Halo 3 and it came with a mask that barely fit my cat.
That's
so
the
Oh,
one.
that
That's
thing.
the
That
one.
was-
Yep.
Yeah.
they molded it, they closed it so you could only put the disc in it,
Yeah, I
and
remember.
that was like the whole piece of it. And it's like, this is a full-size helmet and it doesn't fit on anything. Cool.
Dead
Yeah.
Island gave you a bust of a zombie bikini gal, so you know it's
Ooh.
hit and
Mm.
miss, you know,
Nice.
and that one
Nice.
hit it out of the park.
It's useful for somebody.
And
Get me out of this conversation.
let's remember, yeah. You know what? We're just moving on to the last one.
Nice.
I know how much you want more survival games, so we have Survival Kids, which is the only other Switch 2 launch game that has not came out on another system or PC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Survival Kids.
Oh,
No?
kid. I don't know what this is. I gotta look this up.
It does not look like it should be a next gen game, which is weird to say for a Switch 2 not being
What?
a next gen console. It looks like a mobile game that tried to be a little too grown up. Like,
Is this a Game Boy game?
It was a Game Boy game. That's the funny thing about it. This is a
oh really?
property from the original Game Boy, maybe Game Boy Color,
Wow.
and they're kind of reviving it, but didn't really tell anybody that's why they did it. So, yeah.
Oh boy. Pass.
Something. Yeah, pass. Obviously, pass. Don.
If my kids want to play it, I would give it a try. It reminds me of, like, looking at that, it looks like maybe kind of Animal Crossing-esque, I guess. I don't know. Slightly better looking than Animal Crossing, but maybe not that same heart that you get from that game.
Doesn't it feel like it seemed like for a while, especially around like the GameCube, the Wii, the Xbox 360 era, every time there'd be a new release, there'd be like a bunch of schlock that hit the stores at the exact same time. It came out on the old console and the new, it was like really bad. Like I'm trying to think of was it called Zombie U? That was like a first person shooter on the Wii U for zombies, and like there would be this like low budget crap that would just rush to come out on the release to capitalize on the fact that there were no other games to buy.
Yeah.
This feels like that game.
Like a straight to DVD, kind of like one of the like Transformers movies, but it's like,
It's like King Kong on the Xbox 360, right? And you're like, this looks really cool. And then you play it, you're like, this game kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So this feels like the you bought the Mario Kart bundle, but grandma wants to get in on the birthday gift, so she goes out and buys Survival Kids. That's what this is for.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of options. I think a lot of us are going to be playing our older Zelda games on the Switch 2 and everything, and there's just not a lot of options for launch titles right now. So yeah. Maybe they'll make some money.
When is Switch 2 supposed to be coming out?
June 5th.
Is it the 5th? Yeah, 5th.
Dang, that soon. And this is what they've got?
100%.
I mean, we have right around the corner, we got Metroid Prime 4 in 2 weeks after that, and then a month later,
did they announce a date?
I
don't think they did.
Okay, so possibility of Metroid, and then what else?
We know Metroid Prime 4 will be out.
Metroid's this year.
The end of the year. Well, that surprises me, actually.
Because I was thinking it was going to come out before the Switch.
You're right.
So far, nothing good is going to be coming out.
When we watched the first Nintendo Direct
in July.
Yeah. When we watched the first Nintendo Direct, I thought they announced Metroid and it was going to come out on Nintendo and it was going to come out before Switch 2, and then you would get the upgrade for the game. Not the case. So
interesting. Okay. I swore that because we saw it first, I assumed it was going to be a relatively quick, but I'm seeing December possibly. That surprises me. What worries me about that is I was kind of banking on the idea that there was going to be a big fall title for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is the get your kids, buy it for your kids title. That's,
It's not.
for a
It's
gamer
not.
like me to get. So that's interesting. So we'll see. But if it is that makes me think that the big titles, and granted they're big, is DK Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and Metroid Prime 4. No Smash, no Mario, no Luigi, no Animal Crossing. That's wild. So I'll be interested to see what that ends up looking like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still, if I can get a hold of a Switch 2, I still will. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. So
yeah.
But I'm not.
I respect Metroid for what it is. It's not my kind of game, but I definitely respect Metroid. Otherwise, no, I'll pass. So far, none of these are things where I'm like, I gotta get that game. No, like
they might remake Assassin's Creed 3 for you, and then you'll be all in.
God, why you gotta bring that up?
Do you hate that game?
Oh, he considered it one of the best games of the year when we had a podcast before.
And to be fair,
and he trashed it the entire time.
Out,
yeah,
and I decided for some reason, this is back. Okay, transparent. Like me and Tyken here, we did a podcast 2013, Hardcore Casual Gamer, and we did one of the best years, one of the best games, game of the year that just came out. What are your choices? And if I recall, I chose Assassin's Creed 3 and then proceeded to shit on it for the next 20 minutes and then talk about also in the same breath how great Borderlands 2 was. And I don't know why I decided to go with Assassin's Creed 3. I don't like that game. It's not a good game. Yeah, it definitely aged poorly. It aged poorly at the time. It's not good. So much potential. I think that's where I was. And this is beside the point of this podcast, but my issue was I think there was a lot of potential for the game, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the game that was in my head to be the reality, and it is not that.
And just to put a nail in that coffin, if I may, in 2012, we had Dishonored, Borderlands 2, Halo 4, The Walking Dead, Journey, Angry Birds Space. All right, that one doesn't count. You Don't Know Jack started coming back around in 2012. Like there were fine choices to pick. And none of them were Assassin's Creed 3.
And yes, after
all I'm saying
AC3
is don't listen to his opinion.
Yeah, I've got an opinion, if nothing else. It may not be a good one.
Zach's got your back because he says 3 was the last decent one before they went off the rails.
Are you over Black Flag? You are out of your mind.
Oh,
Zach.
Yeah, no, Black Flag. Yeah, Black Flag is great because it's not an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Yep. It went
every Assassin's Creed part 2 of that game
Black
is the worst
Flag.
part of that game.
Zach is high. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's out of his mind. That was the downfall. 3 was where they were dropping.
I enjoyed 3 for what it was. I'm not going to say it was game of the year over like Borderlands or anything, but I don't know. I had fun with it. Seems a little small compared to, what came after that, but
there were, and again, we can definitely get back to the topic here in a second.
We need to have like worst games of 2012 should be a topic.
Yeah, right. I was like, there were mechanics in the game that I really did like the disarming got really polished, and being able to and Brotherhood did a really good job of that too, but it was really refined and polished in 3. Disarming and counter using their own weapon against them and things like that. What I mean. Aside from mechanics, and they did introduce the ship-to-ship stuff very briefly, which they then greatly expanded on in Black Flag, which is a fantastic game. I will go back and play that right now.
Might be the best pirate game, which is wild to say.
Yeah, and but there was again so many issues I had with it. And again, this is I think maybe another topic to talk about, diversity and representation in games, and that's what I wanted in that game. There were so many topics that they briefly hinted at, but because they were trying to not talk about slavery, trying not desperately not to talk about what we did to the Native Americans and indigenous people, but they wanted to have a main character who was named Connor, and he was a Spaniard because he was trying to hide the fact that he was native despite all the feathers and whatever. But they didn't touch anything that could have made that great. They danced around all of it. And to me, it made a much worse game because there was no soul. There was nothing in it, and there could have been. But again, it's a Ubisoft game. What the fuck?
All right, Atlas is bringing it back a little. He's realizing his mistake. He wasn't thinking Assassin's Creed 3. He's thinking Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was the last of the 3 from 2.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Back to topic.
You're right. JC DeSantis is right. Revelations. It went Brotherhood, then Revelations.
I had fun with 3 though.
The Ezio series was great. It again
Ezio's
had
great.
potential.
One of the best characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another topic. Best characters from Assassin's Creed. We're never getting out of this podcast.
Oh God. Well, this is a good time. That was the last game, Survival Kids, which became Assassin's Creed 3. Which is
the line that we got.
Still in Frag's game of the year. But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts tonight? We kind of changed the format, so what do you guys think?
I definitely think we need to find a better way to stay on topic.
Oh,
but you know what? Honestly, screw that. That ain't gonna happen. Like, come on. You invited me here. Like, I ain't gonna stay on topic. My ADHD won't do that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things you said that really resonated with me is just how ridiculously stacked the next few weeks are going to be, right? We got Doom that just came out. We've got Dune. That's going to be hard to keep those two straight. That looks amazing. I'm very excited for. We got the Switch 2 coming out and all of those games that I'm excited for. It's just, and we've had tons of bangers before. Like I literally loaded up Obscura last night and played like through the very beginning tutorial and then realized I was far too tired to dodge and just quit the game. But like, I need to get to that. I need to finish Blueprints. Like I'm already in a point in my life where I struggle to keep up in the gaming scene. And now it's even so bad. I'm like, I don't even know if I have time to play an hour of a good game, let alone
just go
spending time with other stuff. So yeah, it's just I'm gonna play Fortnite and talk Darth Vader. That's what I want to do. Yeah. I'm totally on board.
Awesome. Well, cool. I want to say once again,
I told
that was the Wookiee or Darth Vader or Frag. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Frag.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure every single time.
Awesome. Tyken, as always, thank you. Appreciate you. And wow, we got 6 audience members. Thank you so much for showing up, jumping in the chat room, talking to us a little bit. We hope to see you next Monday. And have a great night. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
See ya.
Deuces.